condo renovation. This, who knows what episode this is, okay? But this is going to be oh, I don't know, a 6 or 7 parter, you know, on how to take out these counters. When's the last time I took a counter out like this? Probably, oh, let's see, 40 years ago? 40 years ago, taking something like this out. When I first started getting into the building construction, we were demoing, and of course back then it was Formica countertops, and a couple times we had to take out counters kind of like this with the chicken wire and the concrete underneath it and stuff like that. And so, you know what, if I can do this, and I haven't done it for 40 years, mind you, I don't know how hard it's going to be, and all that kind of stuff, but you know, hey, one little bit at a time, and the countertops aren't going to come until next Monday, and today's Tuesday. That's why I'm starting now, in case it takes me a little bit longer than I thought. I want to have plenty of time getting this stuff out, because the other thing I got is I've got to take these pieces out, the backsplash up against the wall. That's going to be kind of tricky too, because sometimes when you pull that out, it might pull the backside of the sheetrock out. I got a little trick. I think I'm going to try when I take this out. If I had a roto hammer with a roto hammer drill bit, I could drill some holes in there, and then it would crack this, and then you could take it out in bits and pieces. But I don't have a roto hammer drill anymore, and I'm not going to get one just to take out this little section of backsplash. I'm going to try something different, and hopefully I can get it out with not making too much of gouges and stuff on the back side of this. But you know, if I make some holes in through here, in through the sheetrock after I pull this up, I'm going to have to patch that and put some quickset on there, and put some webbing tape on there and all that kind of stuff, because eventually what I'm going to do there is put a backsplash, tile backsplash up against, you know, where the new countertop's going to be. We're going to put a quartz countertop in here, and it's going to be a little bit lower than the height of this, because this is 3/8 and 1 1/4 inches of the concrete underneath this, and then probably 3/4 inch plywood, and that the counter is only about 1 3/8 inches thick, and so it's going to be a little bit lower than this. And I thought, hey, let's just redo this backsplash. So the backsplash is probably going to come up. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it here, because it's going to go up to the bottom of the cabinets, and it's going to go to the bottom of the new microwave after we get the new microwave installed, and it's going to go down below where the stove's going to be, and then it's going to go across over to that edge. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm going to take this up to here and then across, or if it's going to maintain about this height and then up there. Well, we'll just have to see. You know, I'm thinking it might look better going up, so that both of these, this electrical outlet and this blank plate, I put a blank plate there because there was an old telephone jack there, and I didn't want to see the telephone jack. We're not using that wiring in the house anymore, and so I don't need that, so I put a blank plate. But do I want the blank plate and this electrical outlet in the sheetrock wall, and then the tile come up this way with that in the tile, those two plugs in the tile? Or do I want these two in the tile too? If I do, then this has to go up to no man's land, because there's no cabinets over here, and go straight across. So I'm not quite sure. Might have to talk to a tile guy and see what they suggest. It might be best to come up, across, and up over there. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so thanks for joining me, and that's what my videos are going to be about for these different videos coming up. Okay, I hope you watch it, because you know what, I'm thinking you're learning quite a bit by watching these videos of this condo renovation, and this is just part of it. It doesn't have to be in a condo. It can be a house, it can be a rental, it can be a flopper, or you know, something that you're changing out for yourself or whatever. I think if you watch these videos, you're going to learn more. Hey, the more you watch, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you save. All right, enough of that. It's time for me to get busy. Well, what am I going to talk about next time? Well, It might, yes, it's probably going to have something to do with the nail bag, and it's not going to have anything to do with that plastic, and it's not going to have anything to do with this masking. Well, yes, it will have something to do with the masking tape. You see that nice quarter round trim at the bottom of the baseboard? Doesn't that look nice and finished now? Well, it didn't look like that before. That's what you're going to learn how to install. And I'm just showing you now how it looks after it gets installed. If you install it properly and stuff, it's going to look all nice around there. It's going to look all tight. Do you see any cracks along the edge of the baseboard and the top of the quarter round? No, of course you don't, because I installed it the proper and correct way. Here's the bathroom. Doesn't that look nice? That covers up all the imperfections underneath the baseboard, and where this flooring went underneath the baseboard, we have that crack there and all that kind of stuff. And this is a free floating floor, so I could not attach any of this quarter round to this floor. You cannot do that. You can't nail it, you can't glue it, you can't do anything to this floor if it's a free floating floor. So make sure you check that out before you just start nailing your quarter round trim down, or you have somebody with a nail gun just angling it down at an angle and hitting your floor, let's say. Okay, so you're going to learn that coming up.